How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We are approaching that time of year where all the AAA titles are announced, and with Assassin's Creed basically confirmed at this point, I thought it was the perfect time to make a video on what the Assassin's Creed game needs in order to refresh the fans and get us in love with the series again. Just like how Origins was a big refresher to the series and satisfied the disappointment from Syndicate, this game has the opportunity to do the same because Lord knows we need it after Odyssey. I'm going to go over what I want and what I think is needed in a new AC game as far as story, gameplay, and the open world. After Assassin's Creed Odyssey's incredibly messy and boring story, we really need a protagonist and story that we can actually connect with as fans. Bayek was great, but the fans really still haven't had a character to love and genuinely care about since Ezio, so a new charismatic and lovable character is definitely needed. What the stories have been missing in recent titles is balance and tone. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was overly lighthearted and campy, while Assassin's Creed Origins was very dark.
Is there nobody?
Let's take AC2 as our example here because it definitely has the best story in the franchise. AC2 was very well balanced. Ezio had very terrible and dark things happen to him, but that didn't taint the overall tone of the game, as it still had many parts where you would smile, laugh, or even for those of you more emotional, cry. It's been a long time since I've actually felt some emotion from a story in Assassin's Creed, and I think they really need to get back on track with that. While we are on the topic, I do not want the choices brought into the story like they were in Odyssey. It makes it very hard to allow the protagonist any defining character traits when you decide how they act. Now, AC 2020 is pretty much confirmed to be during the Viking era, so I pray that we can finally be assassins again, as we haven't played as an assassin in Assassin's Creed since 2015 with the release of Syndicate. The only people who enjoyed being a mercenary in Assassin's Creed Odyssey were the people who haven't played any of the games before, if we're being honest here. In terms of gameplay, I believe the combat and stealth needs another complete rework. Origins and Odyssey's gameplay was in no means bad, but it definitely lacked fluidity and smoothness that the previous titles excelled at. In terms of stealth and parkour, we definitely need a more smooth experience with cleaner, crisper, and quicker animations. Personally, in terms of gameplay, my favorite game is AC Unity. The assassinations are so quick and smooth and you don't feel like you're getting stuck all the time, which I sometimes get with Origins and definitely got with Odyssey. Now this should be a given, but we 1000% need the hidden blades back. The spear was absolutely terrible in replacing the hidden blades with assassinations. The animations with the spear were so long and dragged out, not to mention the hidden blade. It's the most special and unique thing about Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed without the hidden blade is like Star Wars without lightsabers. It just doesn't work or feel nearly as cool. Now let's touch on the combat for a second. I don't know what it is about the combat in Origins and Odyssey, but it just feels really stale and dull to me. When I play a game like AC3 Remastered, each encounter actually feels really good and just looks really cool, like it's straight out of an action movie. But in Origins and Odyssey, the combat almost feels like a chore and a punishment for being detected. I also just really quickly wanted to talk about realism in Assassin's Creed. Now, I am well aware of things like the Izu and the Apple of Eden were not realistic, but you cannot compare that to what Odyssey did. I've gotten to many arguments with people in the comment section and they'll say something like, "Oh, you say Odyssey is unrealistic, but Assassin's Creed has always been that way." Just because Assassin's Creed had some unrealistic objects does not mean it's okay to have things like invisibility, teleportation, spirit assassinations, and jumping from a 2,000-foot drop and surviving without a scratch. AC 2020 better not adapt these terrible inclusions that were introduced in Odyssey, because Odyssey just completely broke the rules in the world of Assassin's Creed. In terms of open world, the series has actually, I'd say, improved over the past two games, but still requires a lot of work. Too many times I find myself in Origins and Odyssey just fast traveling and skipping through the world because there's not much to do. Other than side quests you're forced to do so you can be high enough level to do the main story, which I will touch on in a second, there is not much to do in the world of Assassin's Creed. The mercenary system was a cool feature, but it was taken way too far in Odyssey to the point where they would actually interfere constantly with you trying to complete stealth or combat sequences of the main story. But again, Assassin's Creed open worlds have locked proper side content for a while, and what I want to see in AC 2020 is a smaller map so there's not just so much random emptiness, and I would like to see something kinda like what we had in AC Black Flag, where you could raid fortresses for money and loot and also pick up assassination contracts for a reward. Lastly, I think the leveling system is a big problem with Origins and Odyssey. I think the leveling system should be either completely eliminated for AC 2020 or be more like how it was used in AC Syndicate, where you only experience difficulty with fighting high level enemies while in combat, because nothing is more frustrating than slitting someone's throat and still being alive, and then they spot you and kill you in combat. We should be able to one-shot anyone with assassination regardless of level or class, like in every game prior to AC Origins. Another annoying problem with the levels is the game forces you to complete side objectives so you can become a high enough level to do the main story. Just let the players play the main story whenever they want to, and don't force them to play out the mostly boring side missions and content that is scattered throughout the game. Anyways, that does it for my rant / suggestions for AC 2020. This game really needs to hit well with the fans, so we will see if Ubisoft Montreal can deliver like how they did with Black Flag and Origins. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions or solutions of your own, please leave them down below in the comments, as I would love to discuss them with you. But that's all from me, everybody, and have a great day.